Valent 1114 now on your Tuesday, and their mission is to serve the Jewish community through fundraising, community-wide programming, social services, and educational activities. Today's In the Know guest is Susan Katz, Executive Director of the Jewish Federation of Peoria, and she's here to talk about a unique opportunity to hear real accounts surrounding the Holocaust directly from a Holocaust survivor. Good morning, Susan, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I understand today is a day of remembrance. So what event are you guys hosting?
It is. We're planning our annual Yom Hashoah event this evening. We have a survivor coming to speak. We'll be at the Peoria Riverfront Museum at 7 o'clock this evening. Our guest speaker is Ida Paluk-Kurz. She was born in 1939, is a child survivor of the Holocaust, and actually her family, before they were deported to the camps, they placed her with a young Polish Catholic couple that wanted to start a family, and they took her in and raised her as their own. She was a twin. She found her twin brother 53 years after she left him. Just by chance. She didn't know if he'd survived or not, and she found him.
So why is it so important for people to come out and hear Ida's story?
This is a piece of history, and it's an important lesson to be learned. The Holocaust started with words. It started with dehumanizing a group of people, and there are Holocaust deniers in our world today. So to hear from somebody who experienced it, who lost her family, really drives the point home that it's important to fight anti-Semitism, racism, and hate wherever we see it. The Holocaust was the natural ending of what the Nazis began in the early 1930s, and Ida and her family and millions of others were direct victims of that hate.
Now, I understand that our president was just talking about anti-Semitism today. So why is it important for the Jewish Federation of Peoria to host these events, to continue on that mission to fight against anti-Semitism?
Exactly what you said, to fight against anti-Semitism, to educate people. Anti-Semitism is the oldest hatred in the world. It is certainly not the only one. We see anti-Semitism, we see xenophobia, we see Islamophobia, we see all kinds of hate against various people just because of the religion they choose to practice or the color of their skin. It's important that we unite against this kind of hate and this kind of behavior. We just heard the president speak about the rise of anti-Semitism. It's been a very difficult few months for the Jewish community. It's important for us to bring these messages to the public, for them to understand the Holocaust did happen, the understanding of what it did to millions and millions of people, and how had more people spoken up, perhaps it could have been avoided. Perhaps the genocide of 6 million Jews and 5 million enemies of the state could have been prevented.
And this is happening at the Riverfront Museum, and I know there's also a Holocaust memorial there. Tell us about that.
Yes, the Peoria Holocaust Memorial just had its 20th anniversary last year. It is the collection of 6 million buttons to represent the Jews who perished in the Holocaust, and another 5 million to represent the enemies of the state. We collected those buttons 20-some years ago because there was a request and a desire to even imagine what 6 million looks like. It's an enormous number. We just can't picture in our heads what 6 million looks like.
Yeah.
And when you go down to the Holocaust Memorial, which is also 18 Star of David glass-shaped columns, and 18 is an important number in the Jewish tradition. Every letter in the alphabet has a numerical value, and the word in Hebrew for life is chai, and the numerical value for that is 18, which is why we have 18 Star of David glass-shaped columns, because we choose life. And we put those 6 million buttons in those 18 columns to show people what 6 million looks like. And when you go to the memorial and you look at these columns and you see all those buttons, and they are full, those columns are full of buttons, and you think of every one of them as representing a life, a parent, a child, somebody like you and I, a grandparent, an aunt and uncle. They were individuals who just wanted to live their lives, and their lives were cut short by hate. And that's a very visual reminder of how many people were killed.
And that is something we will continue to fight. A very serious and important education happening tonight at the Riverfront Museum at 7 o'clock. You will hear from a survivor of the Holocaust and hear Ida's story. Thank you so much for coming in, Susan.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. If you or someone you know would like to join us on In the Know, just head to 25newsnow.com, click on the In the Know tab, and submit the form. But stick with us. We're celebrating some birthdays after the break.